In this episode of the IT Experts podcast, we're going to get you to raise your standards for 2023. Welcome to the IT Experts podcast, the only podcast to help MSPs scale to 1 million, and if already there, get to 5 and go faster. At the end of the day, isn't it all about building a business that works for you rather than you for it? I hope you enjoy the show. So good morning, good afternoon, good evening, wherever you are. Happy New Year to you. Happy New Year 2023. It's the 2nd of January and it's time to go. It's time to get ready. It's time to dust down your woolly heads, dust down your alcohol-fueled, tired weekend, whatever it is you've had over the new year, and get back to business. Get back and line up where we're going. And the purpose of this podcast, quite frankly, it's just to give you a bit of a kick up the bum, to be honest. It's New Year. Everyone's talking about we've all eaten too much. We've all drunk too much, or most of us have eaten and drunk too much. We're all feeling a little bit, oh, crikey, I've got to get back into the office. And as the MSP business owners amongst us, it's like if you're having any of those thoughts around, is this going to be the same as last year? What am I going to do differently? Then this podcast is going to help you give you some nice little tips and tricks to help you get that motivation to get back in the office and make 2023 your best year yet. Yes, apparently, according to the news, there is a recession, depression, whatever you want to call it, coming our way. Well, I'll tell you something. All the shopping centres that I've been to, doesn't look like people are having too much of an issue. And I know that electricity bills are going up. I'm not naive enough to know that. But I am a great believer that you make your own luck, and that in times like this, we need to be looking for the opportunities. If you want to be a Debbie Downer, if you want to be someone who's going to sit there, listen to the news, believe the news, follow the sheep, woe is me, Karen on Facebook, and all of these other people, other women are available on Facebook, other critics are available on Facebook, then just turn this podcast now, because this is not going to be for you. What I want to help you with today is raising your game, raising your standards. And it all starts with your mindset, because you're going to hear so many analogies in this podcast. It's just going to blow your mind. But thoughts become things. If you start thinking about something, whether it be a new car, holiday, a new house, or whatever it might be, the world starts to move things towards you in certain ways, whether you believe in the power of attraction or not. But all of a sudden, stuff starts coming into your world. Say, for example, you want a new house. You start noticing that people are, there's for sale signs all over the place. And that's something called your reticular activating system, your RAS, and it sits in your brain. And whatever you think about and whatever you plan and whatever happens, and I know that you're all thinking about little things like that now that's coming up in your head, things start to move because your energy and your actions start to shift towards buying a new house, buying a new car, having a great holiday, building an amazing business, or any of these great things. So today we're going to help you shift your brain. Today we're going to help you get back on track, get back in the saddle, get some plans together, and really start to move and make some lasting change, because lasting change in anything starts with action. Okay. If you always do what you've always done, then you're always going to get what you've always got. You're always busy being busy. It's the way it is. It's the way I run my MSP. I'm always busy. I'm the only one who can do it. We've had steady and slow growth, and let's be frank about it. The longer you're in business as an MSP, the bigger the business is going to get. I didn't say the more profitable the business is going to get. I didn't say the more fun the business is going to get. I said, but the bigger the business is going to get. 4% of MSPs are over £1 million in turnover. Probably because when you start to get to 1 million, you may have just about had enough of it and you sell out to some of the bigger guys. But 52% of the clients in the Growth Hub with myself and Stuart are over 1 million. What does that tell you about where the ambition sits, where the structure sits, where the times that people have sat there and gone, do you know what, I just can't handle this anymore. I've had enough. I'm just sitting on this treadmill. Every single year we're doing something different. So I'm telling you now, if you want to do something different, you have got to do something different. Now, lasting change, as I said, starts with action. And it's around understanding the journey that you're on as an MSP. And if you haven't heard about it before, I'm going to talk to you about the MSP Journey. So at the Growth Hub, we know that the MSP Journey has got 4 stages to it. And listening right now, you are going to fit into one of those stages. The first stage is survive, right? It's anywhere between 0 and about 400K. You know, you're distracted. It's all you dependent. You've got to do everything. There's no leads in your business, just a few referrals. And it's kind of a hard place to be. You're surviving to pay the bills. You're grinding every single day. Bloody hard work. But all of a sudden, one day, 1 month, your value, the invoicing amount of money you've got coming in your business overtakes your costs. And then you turn around to your wife or your partner and go, hey, I think I've got a business here. And then all of a sudden, you start to realize that in actual fact that there is no fearing. We are absolutely going to run this business. And you start moving, and then you start getting more referrals. And the longer you're in business, everything starts to flow. But you're really busy being busy. You're caught up in it. And as I say, you're grinding. Then what happens? You move into the second phase, which is drive. This is where you start chasing things. You still haven't got a plan. Okay. It's all you dependent. And now you're getting more and more referrals because the business is building up. And drive is a great place to be because all of a sudden you've looked at surviving the smaller MSPs behind you. And this could be, you could be anywhere between about 400, 600K, something like that. And you're having to drive every single initiative. Then things get a little bit easier. You think, actually, in fact, you know what? If I do get a bit of a plan together and I start directing people, look, we've got a few leads coming in through a bit of sales and marketing we're doing. You're moving to thrive. And all of a sudden, the leadership style is starting to be a bit more empowering. You're starting to, empower the people around you. People are excited about where the business is going. But thrive is a really fragile place, okay? Because you either might have a really big client, what happens if they leave? Or you might have a really key employee, one of your techies, who might leave. And what would happen in that place? So you've got through drive, you're into thrive, and now you're making something. You're probably just about to smash the £1 million barrier. Oh, and then you drop back down again. Then you try and hit it again the next year. Oh, and then you drop back down again. The last stage in the journey is when you suddenly realize that you are good enough to run an MSP as a techie business owner from heart. And all of a sudden you get into arrive. And now you're inspiring people. You've got time to go out and to start going to other events. You're thinking strategically. You've got a lead flow. You've got, other people within your organization are driving. And Arrive is different for everyone. Arrive might be, I want to work 3 days a week. Arrive might be, I want to exit. But the most important thing is that as you go through the MSP journey, every decision and every success and everything that you've had in your business has come from an action that you've taken. So as you go through January this year, if you don't take any action that's going to be any different to last year, it doesn't take a rocket scientist to work out what's happening. If you're unhappy with what happened last year, if you're frustrated, if you're stressed, you've got too much stuff going on, you're not delegating well enough, you haven't got the right team, you can't recruit people, and all of these horrible things that are going on in your head, things have got to change. And the key thing in understanding how we can manage a big shift change is in your values, okay, and understanding your own personal values. It's about getting into flow. I was listening to this video from a great philosopher called Alan Watts, and he said on one of his videos, what would you do if money was no object? That doesn't mean what would you do if you've got all the money in the world. It means what would you do if you woke up in the morning and you didn't need to worry about money? And I want you to all think about that question today. Think about what that means to you. Because for me, when I sat down and I thought about that question, I thought, crikey, what on earth would I do? And I thought back in my life and I thought back, what did I do as a child? And I always liked to help my mum do some decorating. Now, unfortunately, my mum's not with us anymore, but I was helping her decorate and I was helping her tidy up the garage. I was always there doing some stuff and organising. So I thought, yeah, do you know what? I'd like to organise some stuff. And this was about 5, 6, 7 years ago. I watched this video. And then I thought, what else do I like to do? And all the way through my life working for commercial businesses and obviously now, I like helping people. I like helping people who don't think that they've got the confidence to do something, to achieve something, and look around and turn at you and go, thanks for that. I can now do this because I took that action. You guided me through. You helped me show the way. You helped me do. So I thought, cool, organising and then helping people. So it's not really too much of a surprise today that Stuart and I, who values really, really align, We're now helping like nearly 50 MSPs to build confidence, to build MSPs, to build good, sustainable, profitable businesses that they don't need to be working in every day. Because I get up every morning and I get into flow. I'm in between 2 calls right now with our clients, and I've just written down 10 minutes worth of notes here for this podcast, and which is what this blast is all about. So understanding your values, understanding how you get into flow. It does not take me any energy in the morning to get up and help MSPs. None at all. I could do it lying in the bath. I could do it wherever. Getting up and doing a bit of fitness and stuff like that, that requires a different level of energy. But I want you to think about your values, and I want to think about what you're good at. And while you're going through this process, I want you to think about who else you need in your organization or in your team who can help you do the things that you don't like doing. Let me give you an example. Nearly 2 years ago now, Stuart and I got together and we said, look, do you reckon we can help more people, have more fun, make a bigger impact, change more lives if we work together? We were absolute direct competitors. I instantly thought, you mad, mate? I've built this business, my own business. Anyway, 10 minutes later, once my ego had moved stage door left, I thought, all right, let's have a chat about this. So there's certain things that Stuart's amazing at, and there's certain things that apparently I'm quite good at. But there's also certain things that Stuart's not very good at, and certain things that I'm not very good at. So I'll be jumping around, talking on videos, doing the stage. Stuart will be writing the most amazing emails, articles, blogs, and all of those kind of great stuff. I speed him up when he needs to move a little bit faster and we need to make some decisions about the business. He slows me down when we need to be a little bit more strategic. And it works really, really well. We've got a great synergy. We've got a great team. We're helping a bucket load of MSPs, and we've got something that's really, really special. So I want you to think about, how do you create something really, really special? Get out of your own way. Stop thinking that you're the only person in the world who needs to do it. You're the only person who needs to do that technical task. It's rubbish. We work with so many multi-7-figure business owners who don't even touch any of the tech at the moment. So where they're at Thrive and Arrive on the journey, and you may be at Drive or Survive, how do you think they got there? They didn't get there because they've just been moping around all the time and just hoping that the world was going to happen. And oh my God, there's a pandemic. And oh my God, we've got a recession coming up and the world's going to be a really dreadful place. So I want you to think about how you get into flow. How do you do work, and how do you identify tasks that your values align with? But more importantly, I want you to think about who and what and how you can get those tasks that you don't align with and the things that you don't like doing. New Year's resolutions. Don't even bother, right? Go and buy that, stop drinking, stop eating, all of this stuff. The only reason people think about New Year's resolutions is because they've overindulged for the last 2 weeks. Well, fair play to you. You've had a tough year. It's hard work running a business. Go and have a few glasses of Chateau Neuf de Pape and overindulge on your chocolate and your Ferrero Rochers or whatever it is you want to do. But don't think you've got to change the whole world. That's called living, right? Come back, and I want New Year habits. What are the things that we're going to change? Everything that we thought we should do next year into things that we know that we must do. So everyone turns around and, I should do this, I should do that, this should be happening, I should do that. And then all of a sudden, if something happened and you needed to find some money from somewhere, or you needed to lose some weight so you could have a knee operation, for example, because they wouldn't do it without, guess what? You'd lose some bloody weight, wouldn't you? You'd go and find some money to do it, because all of a sudden that, I should lose a bit of weight and I should improve my eating, I should get my health up and running, turns into a must. I must do it. Otherwise this won't happen. And when we bring in the vision, and when we bring in, the future vision of what you want your business to be, how big you want it to be, the turnover you want it to be, how efficient you want it to be, how much fun you want to have doing it, running the business and supporting all those peoples, then you've got to turn your shoulds into musts. We ban words in the Growth Hub like try and hope, right? I'm going to try and do it. No, you won't. Either do it or don't do it, okay? Oh, I hope it will happen. Don't hope it. Because hope is kind of out of your control, isn't it? Hope is like flicking it out there and hoping that the rainbows and the unicorns are going to pick it up. Well, guess what? I don't think they really exist. I know rainbows do exist, but I haven't really seen how they work in any business model yet. So to ban the word try, write it down on a Post-it note, stick it on your pad. And every time someone comes in your office and says, I'm just going to try and do that, say, no, you're not. You're either going to do it or you're not going to do it. I hope we get where we need to be next year with our turn. No, you don't. We know we're going to set some proper forecasts. We're going to set some proper management. We're going to get some proper accountability. But the key thing with all of this, it's all big thinking, yeah? It's scary. It's bloody scary. I sat here yesterday with a client and he was at 1 million. And I said to him, I said, why can't you get this to 5 million in 5 years? Oh, bloody hell. He said, I don't know about that. He says, that's a big number, isn't it? It's quite scary looking at that. I said, why is it scary? So generally, we could, with our support, we could double your business in 2 years, right? So 2 years, that's 2 million. If we then do that again for the next 2 years, then that takes you to 4 million, maybe just over 4.2, 4.3 million. Drop a bit of a stretch goal in there for another year, just for a little bit of shits and giggles, as we call it, just to make sure, just in case there's a few things that don't go along the way. You're at 4.5, 5 million. And he went, okay. I said, but if we fail to reach that and we get your MSP from 1 to 4 in the next 4 years, or even the next 5 years, with profitability of 20%, is that a bad thing? He said no. So that's not a bad goal to miss. So the fear of failure is something that really, really hinders a lot of people's confidence. So just get really comfortable with making mistakes. Not too many mistakes, because you've got to learn from every single one of them. Adjust the plan, tweak your methodology, and then go back in. Because I promise you one thing, if you follow any of the growth advice that is out there, no one is going to die. Okay. Some people might leave your organization. Some of your clients might leave, depending on how you adjust the way that you work. But things are not going to, the ultimate thing is, if you're thinking positively, you've got a great plan, you're doing you're working on your musts, you're not trying to do anything, you're not hoping to do anything, you're in control of what you're doing. Only good stuff can happen. Think about positive stuff. Get a healthy regime. Get some blood flowing in your body. I am not, funnily enough, sitting down on a chair right now. I'm standing up. I'm fully animated. I'm fully energized into this, because I know what and how powerful this podcast is going to be for you on the 2nd of Jan. Okay. So here's some tips now, because I want you to help you to deliver on your musts in 2023, right? So the first thing, I want you to set some outcomes in 90 days. I don't want to set a target. I want you to set an outcome. So here's the difference, right? In 90 days, I've got to sort out my PSA system, for example, right? Wrong, right? In 90 days, I want our PSA system to be fully working with documented SOPs that everyone can follow and everyone understands, where they fall within it, and our customers, yada, yada, yada. I want an outcome. I want, what do you want to achieve? What is that thing that when you look at it, if we go back to, I want to sort my PSA system out, 90 days time, turn around, go back and look at it. Did we sort a PSA system out? Yeah, might have done. But what does sort out your PSA system look like? I want to bring some metrics in. We're doing some training with this with our clients at our January intensive. So I wanted an outcome. I want it to be a little bit scary. I want it to be a little bit, outside of your comfort reach, outside of your comfort zone. So either a bigger number or a shorter period of time, something like that. But I want you to have absolute clarity in your mind on what success looks like. Number 2, I don't want you to be afraid to fail. I want you to treat this as a test. And when it's a test, guess what happens? People can fail a test. Who's going to know about the test failing? No one, you, right? Because it's your little test. You're not going to go and put a banner outside the office and say, by the way, first week of the new year, I've absolutely cocked something up. No, this is going to be a test. So I want you to think it's a test. It's okay to fail. It's okay to adjust. It's okay to change things around as you're going through your 90-day plan. But always be really clear. Just get 3 things, right? 3 things I want to achieve in the next 90 days. Number 3, I want you to break it into 30-day chunks. What do we want to achieve in the first 30 days? What does success look like? What does success look like in the second and the third 30 days, right? And these are going to be like milestones, okay? So we know what the outcome is. We know what success looks like, because we're going to look back at it and say, yes, I did it, or no, I didn't do it. And then I want you to break it down into 30-day chunks, right? Step 4, I want you to decide on a weekly basis what tasks you need to achieve each week to hit your monthly milestone. So what tasks each week, and it'd be great if you did this on a Friday, so that when you come in on the Monday, you hit the ground running, bang, you're ready to go. I want you to decide what weekly tasks and routine you're going to get into to make your 30-day milestones challenge, okay? Now, this is going to involve you doing a few things differently in your calendar, because you're going to need to block out time in your diary to do it. And I know that you've all got this shitty little voice in your head right now going, well, I can't do that because I've got to look after the clients, and I can't do that because of this. Yes, you can. Take the T off and you can. Okay? You can do anything you want. It's down to you. It's your life. Remember, you're deciding on your musts, or are you still battling around working out what I should be doing? No, this is a must, because you've just committed now by listening to the podcast this far on that you're going to do a 90-day plan now with some really key things to start helping you develop this really positive, successful mindset that is only going to spread to everybody that you contact and everybody that you touch. Okay. So get those weekly plans in touch. And step 5, get someone to be an accountability. There is nothing worse. Remember what used to happen when you went to school, right? Went to school, did your homework. Shit, better do that today because the teacher's going to tell me off. I've got to do that done. I've got to. So I must do this. I've got to see the thing. So get someone to hold you to account. Somebody, your partner maybe, somebody in your organization, someone in your leadership team, whatever it is. So that's the steps, okay? Clear 90-day outcomes. Don't be afraid to fail. Treat it as a test. Break it into 30-day chunks and milestones. Then decide what your weekly tasks and your routine and your plan needs to look like. This is where your discipline needs to come in. And this is where I've got to do this. I've got to achieve this. Because how great are you going to feel when you've done it? Because you've probably never done this before. And 5, get someone to hold you to account. So it's kind of as simple as that for me today. If you're feeling a bit flat, if you're feeling that your MSP is like plateaued, and you're just fed up doing the same old thing every time, and you want a little bit more growth, and you want a little bit more, excitement, you want to get some more energy, you want to enjoy what you're doing, then just give me a message on LinkedIn, drop me an email at ian@themspgrowthhub.com, and let's just have a chat, because we are helping a ton of MSPs right now. They absolutely love what we're doing. And if you're one of our clients listening to this podcast, because I know you do, I'm not going to name any names, but I want you to take this and I want you to think about this, because we're going to be talking about this in the intensive at the end of January. We're going to be getting you guys set up for success in 2023. And these are some of the milestones that we want to put in place to stop you being busy all the time. I'm the only one who can do this work. It's only me. I'm the best person to do it. I'm the only technical person in the world. We've always done it like that. We can't change like that. Well, remember, if you always do what you've always done, you're always going to get what you've always got. So look, here's me. That's it. I'm done. Wishing you every success in your health, your wealth, and your happiness in 2023. I really look forward to connecting with as many people on this podcast as I possibly can in the next 12 months. There's a goal in itself. You go and enjoy the rest of your day. Listen back to this podcast once again with your notepads. Take some actions, and I'd love to hear any of the successes that you've had after the action that you've taken on here. So that's it from me today. You look after yourselves, and I look forward to catching up with you soon. Take care. So I hope you enjoyed the show. If you did, I'd love it if you could leave a rating and review on your favorite podcast platform. If you want to learn more about how to take your MSP to $1 million, or if you're already there, go faster, then come and join Stuart Warwick and myself in the Scale with Confidence Facebook group. The link is in the show notes. You go and enjoy the rest of your day, and I look forward to connecting with you soon.